Better Parents is back today with another video on how to help your kids start a multi-million-dollar business in 30 days or less. So today we're going to talk about branding, trademarking, and just as important, the mobile versus desktop experience. You want to think about both of these stores, the desktop's website and the mobile website, as two completely different experiences, two different stores. Think of them as they're on different parts of town. The way your users, visitors, potential customers see one versus the other is different. That means the sizing on your mobile needs to be thought of differently. Not just mobile friendly websites, but entirely made from scratch specifically for mobile. Why? Because if you think of them as one and the same, the experience will not be catered to the mobile user, which is going to be the majority of your traffic moving forward, usually, if you do all things well, because Google is prioritizing the ranking and positioning of mobile before desktop, because that's where most people are searching from their phone. Okay? So don't look at your mobile website as if it were your desktop. You need to experience both. And remember to look at your analytics to see what browsers and which devices, because your analytics will tell you if it's an Android or an iPhone. Are they on Safari or Chrome or Internet Explorer, or very few on Firefox, so that you can make sure to test your website on those browsers and those devices, right? The Android versus iPhone, the different size iPhones, so you can validate that everything is working the way it needs to be and do your quality assurance properly. Again, I cannot overstate the importance of using your website on a mobile device for all the types of interactions and all the use cases in order to make sure that your user's experience is as good as it can be, because they will leave for any little bit of friction, any additional extra step, any error, any problem that they perceive that may not even be a problem, they may just perceive it as one, is enough for people to go away. All right. We can definitely talk about the mobile experience a lot more, but I want to keep these videos short so that you can, think them over, share some thoughts with your child or your team, and build it out. I'll leave you with one tip on mobile. Whenever someone has to enter their phone number or a zip code, make sure it forces the dial pad. It's such a better experience, and I've verified over many different tests that you will get a much higher conversion rate and see people through your entire flow and funnel if you force the dial pad, and it's easier for them to enter digits with that versus a traditional QWERTY keyboard that the numbers are smaller across the top of the board. All right, trademarking. A lot of people make a lot of money selling services around trademark. You do not have to spend $1,000 or even $500 to do your own trademark. You go to GPT and you can have AI write out your trademark for you. Then you go to the USPTO.gov and learn how to file a trademark. Make sure you're in as many classes as you think you'll be in the future. If today you're doing media, but one day you might want to do hats, then you need to do, clothing, right? If today you're doing one type of product, but you want to add 10 more products in the future, make sure you're in the classes. That's what the USPTO, the United States Patent and Trademark Offices, calls the different categories. They call them classes. Make sure you select all the classes you're going to want to be in one day potentially. Even if it's 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, pay for that class now, that category, so that you don't have to worry about it in the future. And it's very easy to go to YouTube, find how to file your own trademark. There's a million resources to do this. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars. All right, please listen to me on this. And if you do feel like you should hire a consultant, then do it after you've written the trademark, you're ready to file it. Tell them you're going to file it yourself and ask them to review the filing for any type of feedback. But there's nothing that AI and a little bit of elbow grease and some YouTube videos can't teach you. All right. Let's end today's video with branding. Why did I choose the domain privatechefs.com? Because it's simple, it's to the point, it's very few syllables, it passes the radio test. That means you don't have to spell it out for people if you were to do a radio ad. Not that I'm going to do radio ads, that's beside the point. But a domain passing the radio test, or a brand passing the radio test, means that when you speak it out loud, you don't have to spell it out to people. This is very important for longevity and word of mouth. When I say longevity, I mean how long is your brand going to endure? The easier it is for people to share your brand name without any friction as to how it's spelled or pronounced, the likelier you are to succeed long term. So, 3 syllables or less. Does it pass the radio test? Is it easy to spell? And is it not trademarked by somebody else yet? Very hard to trademark the word private chefs. It's too general. But I can trademark privatechefs.com altogether. You see, that's the key differentiator. Why did I choose that brand? Because it's straight to the point, it's memorable, it looks good when you design it out with some nice fonts, and people don't have to wonder what it's about. It's very clear. Now, there's only 2 things I can think of private chefs might be about. Basically, how to be one, or hiring them or training them, right? Well, that's 3 things, but you get my point. So, we've covered a lot of ground in today's video. Leave some comments, ask some questions, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and if you have any other questions, let me know, and I'll see you tomorrow.